Welcome, and welcome to Let's Talk Ed with Professor Chris. Happy first week if you've started. I think by now everyone has started college. So hopefully first week went right. Welcome to Let's Talk Ed with Professor Chris. I'm still your host, and this is Let's Talk Ed with Professor Chris, the best college podcast, where we continue to explore the futures, student careers, and questions about college, but most importantly, empowering minds one episode at a time. I am still your host, Professor Chris, and the author of Getting the Most Out of Your College Experience. Getting the most out of your college experience, please get your copy. Also, I'm very excited to start this new series of Real Student, Real Cases. This is our first episode of Real Students, Real Cases. Our very first case today is going to be an allegation from LSU. So there's an incident that happened at LSU literally just last week, had to do with AI and cheating, so let's get right to it. LSU students facing mounting AI cheating allegations. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, WAFB. LSU students are facing a surge of artificial intelligence cheating allegations that has created a significant backlog at the university's Student Advocacy and Accountability Board, according to the documents obtained by WAFB and student accounts. One LSU student who asked to be identified only as Sarah said she received a 0 on an assignment after her professor determined it was AI written. I went to go check my grades and I saw that I had a 0. So I went and I checked to see her notes. And my teacher completely scratched all of it out and said that it was 93% AI written, Sarah said. All right, so you heard a story about the LSU students. One student in particular. So here's the breakdown. I know while everyone is thinking LSU is on the hot seat, or LSU is on deck now, we're all talking about LSU because LSU is in the news. News flash. This situation is happening everywhere in every institution as I speak right now. So today it might be LSU, tomorrow it might be ABC University, and the next day it might be XYZ University. So instead of pointing finger at LSU, what I'm going to do instead is look at the big picture. Because this situation is not and does not pertain to just LSU only. It is happening everywhere. That being said, what I intend to do is actually look at the situation in a very broad spectrum and approach it in two ways. One is, what are you going to do if you find yourself in this situation? And I'm going to look at the big picture of how to prevent yourself from being in this situation. All right. So first things first. Let's just pretend for a second you are a student that is in this situation. What are you going to do? My suggestion, the first thing I'm going to ask of you is to consult with yourself first. You honestly have to ask yourself the question. Or maybe you don't need to ask yourself the question. You know whether you used AI or you didn't use AI. It's that simple. So be very honest, be very sincere, and be very truthful to yourself. That's the first thing you need to do. Second, you need to consult the instructor. Not the dean, not the president, not the vice president, not the provost, not the chancellor. You need to consult the instructor. And in your consultation, during your consultation, What you're doing is, again, it's either you did it or you didn't, okay? If you did not use AI, you still need to talk to your professor and say, I did not use AI. It's that simple. And provide evidence so your instructor and yourself could be on the same page. If your instructor still insists that no, this is AI and they have evidence, you have no choice but to appeal the case if you also strongly believe that you did not use AI. In that case, you're just going to have to follow your institution's appeal process. And it's very different, so I'm not going to get into how to do it or how not to do it. Just look at the institution's handbook and just follow the appeal process. Unfortunately, this could take a very, very long time. So it might be all spelled out in the appeal process in your institution's handbook as to how long it's going to take and the process. And the reason I said it's going to take a long time is it might also complicate situations. Maybe this is the very first paper. Is that instructor going to allow you to still stay in the class while the appeal is going on? Or maybe not. Again, this is very different for every institution. So you need to look at a handbook and then approach it that way. Okay? Now, assuming, yes, you did use AI, which I'm guessing is a situation in this case, all you have to do is, while you're talking to the instructor, admit that you did use the AI. It's very simple. And ask for a second chance. And most instructors are very understanding of the situation, knowing that either they're still trying to put in place the AI policy and how to cite the AI, and it's a lot that comes with it. So you might get a second chance. And most instructors are very reasonable enough to give you that opportunity. Worst case scenario, you're getting a 0 on that paper, but that instructor is probably just going to say, I'm giving you a first warning. You can still stay in my class, but don't do it again. And this is the right way to cite your AI if you're using AI. Also, the instructor could say, you know what? I appreciate your honesty. I'm actually going to have you rewrite this paper. Cite it very well if you're going to be using AI, and I might give you a 50% of what you need to get on this paper. It is a fair deal and better than nothing, okay? So please reason with your instructors. Once again, start from your instructors. If there's an appeal process, you know what to do with the appeal process. Follow that process as well. You get institution's handbook and go through that. What most instructors don't like is for you going above and beyond, talking to their supervisors, and it could be the dean, it could be the provost, president, chancellor, what have you. Start with your instructors, okay? Don't forget, every institution also has an ombudsman or an ombudswoman, okay? So this is the person in charge of conflicts like this. They are there for the students, they are also there for the institution, but mainly their goal is to help the students. They tend to be very good and do not take sides. So I did an episode on an ombudsman and how I did an interview on an ombudsman, Mr. Jerry, a dear friend of mine, in one of my very first episodes. If you want to know more about an ombudsman or an ombudswoman, all right, check out that episode. But they are there to help you. So worst case scenario, if you're going through an appeal and you need some help, the ombudsman or ombudswoman is always there to help you. So now I hope I've made this very clear on where you stand with the situation, how to approach it, whether you are wrong or whether you're right. We looked at both sides. But now, as we move forward, let's look at the big picture with AI. Remember, plagiarism is still a thing and is still a very, very big thing. And even more so now with AI, our temptation level is very, very high because it's amazing what AI could do, and it's very easy for us to fall into situations like this. We're using AI, probably you think it saves you a lot of time. We're using AI, you believe strongly, can make your writing better, and maybe it could, but you need to find the right way to do it. I've also done an episode on AI, its effects, advantages and disadvantages, okay? All right, so be very, very careful in the big picture. Most institutions have also rolled out the policy and the different ways to use AI, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. Okay, so review those very carefully because we're not going to fight AI. It's a great tool I said, so we should use it as such. Okay. Bottom line is it's very easy to get caught using AI. With great power comes great responsibility. I think that was the line from the movie The Spider-Man. Very similarly, with great advanced technology also comes the advanced detection tools that keeps us in line to make sure and can also detect very easily whether we're using this technology or not, right? So, bottom line is we have to be very smart using this tool. Well, there you have it. There you have it, our very first episode of Real Students, Real Cases, Case 1, the Louisiana LSU story. My closing for this very first episode of Real Students, Real Cases is this. Be smart and don't let AI outsmart you. AI is a tool, so we have to use it as such. Let AI be your side angel. Don't let AI be your guardian angel. All right, and with that, I'm still your host, Professor Chris. And my advice to you is continue to stay focused. Don't drink beer. But my beer to you is to balance, exercise, eat well, and rest and relax. See you on the next episode of Let's Talk Ed with Professor Chris, where we look at a whole different case in this new edition of Real Students, Real Cases. See you next time. This is the book that I wished I had before going to college. And it's also the book I hope I had while I was in college. Get a copy of Getting the Most Out of Your College Experience now. You can get it online at Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, iTunes, and Google Play. If you want a signed copy, you can go to my website at www.letustalked.com. Get your copy and let's continue to talk ed. Thank you.